Lily has a very rich background in psychology, and she's a mental health advocate, and other than being a mental health advocate, she has a personal story. And there's nothing better like understanding a personal story and a personal journey and how somebody was able to overcome, so that you're able to learn better and even cope better. So let's welcome Lily as she shares her story.
Hi everybody. I'm Yaya Ifanak, a graduate of Moi University, Erratic, and I'm also a mental health advocate and the founder of What Happening organization. This organization I started as a result of my own personal experience. So there's a lot of good that can come out of the bad. So I'd like to tell you two aspects of my story because of time. I was born in Erratic in 1985, then moved to Nairobi in 1992 with my dad. Soon after my parents, because of religious differences, my dad is an extremist, Christian extremist. We've had Islam extremism, now we have Christian extremism, and you've seen it in the media. But my dad is even worse than what you see. And growing up under him felt like growing up under clothes of you cannot do this, you cannot do that. It was a very stifling environment. As a girl in that church, you could not wear makeup. But I look good in makeup. You could not wear makeup, you could not wear heels. Like literally how you see me now, I'm a sinner going to hell. And to the extent that my dad disowned me 7 years later. So we moved from Eldoret, came to Nairobi, a very young girl, moved to Moja Primary School, and we literally lived a stone's throw away from the school, flat A18 in Moja Inako, house number 6. When you would look outside our balcony, kitchen balcony, you'd see the school. My stepmom was always there, waiting to report what I was wearing, what I was doing when I was leaving or coming from school. So this one time, I was very talented in volleyball. I was coming from school, I was in class 8 at this time, lived with dad for all these years, going through a lot of trauma and abuse. But on this particular day, I was going to Busara Primary School. It was we're done with it was zonals then districts, right? So we were done with the zonals, we were doing districts. And I was really good. In fact, I was the deputy team captain. So while we were leaving, you had to wear game sticks, yeah? In my dad's church, wearing this short is a sin. Wearing shorts for games is a sin. And being a child, sometimes you just want to be a child. You just want to do what you love, but then all that could not happen because of my love. And secondly, I'm in this church. So my stepmom saw me. I was hiding behind students, which was really funny. I had to hide behind students because then I'm imagining my stepmom and the help cannot see me. But eventually they saw me, then my dad was coming. My dad was always not present, always went on missions 3-6 months, so dad was never there. Then when he'd come back, the reports he would be given is what he would use to judge you. Your side of the story doesn't count, you're a child, you can lie, you can do whatever it is just to escape the king. So this day, I thought I'd made it, like I thought I'd passed. And we went to Busara, it was fun, and everyone was teasing me how I'm a Mokorino. My wrap skirt was so long, it was way beyond the knees. And the other girls were having really nice, cute, short wrap skirts. Who knows wrap skirts here? Yeah, those things, yeah? So, at some point it was my turn to serve. How many have been to Busara Primary School? You should be somewhere near Kayole. Between Kayole and Rumotu. So while I was about to mom's home, and with 3 other brothers in the last one. So I used to be daddy's drum. I still love my dad today. So that day my dad comes, and I froze. It was my time to serve. I could not remember hearing the whistle. The guy, you know how volleyball is? So there's a guy at the pole who whistles and you can now serve. I held the ball. I was about to serve. I froze in that position. The crowd is cheering. It's the semi-finals. We're supposed to move now to the finals. Our team was really doing well that year. This was in 1999. Dad came. I saw her go to the games mistress and tell her, I told you to respect my faith. The next thing I know, it was a blur. My dad was here. He was pulling me by my t-shirts, and he dragged me like that all the way from Kisara to Moja Inako, to the house where I found a bucket full of canes waiting for me. My dad beat me thoroughly. I used to be, I'm not a light skin, but I think by then I used to be really malnourished. If you saw photos of me, I think you'd laugh. Kids would tease me. I was being bullied in school, being bullied at home, being abused, being beaten. I would wear really long sleeves always because I had marks, blue, black, red, waiting to heal. I could not speak. I had a problem with communication. I was really smart as well, book-wise. So my teachers would relate to what I was going through, but nobody would say anything because my dad cannot be questioned to date. So that day my dad really beat me up, thoroughly. And my eldest brother saw this, and the following day he tells me, Billy, you know what, Daddy has given us permission, you're going to see Mom. And I'm so excited. And before I knew it, we were parking, and I'm like, oh, let me go tell Daddy thank you. Then my brother's like, no. Daddy doesn't want you to tell that. Daddy doesn't want you to go see this in public, because then I have 2 other brothers called Joshua and Enoch. Josh and Q, we call them Q. Josh and Q will find out, and Daddy will be mad. He just wants me and you to go. This was my brother strategizing a way to make me escape the trauma, escape the beating, escape the malnourishment, escape the harsh reality of the bullying in schools, escape the fact that I could not play bladder, I could not play kati, I could not play bano, I could not play any games because it was a sin for me as a girl. And yeah, that happened. Then we strategized with my brother how we were going to run away. Then we decided Sundays when my brother gets sent for Gazette newspaper. He's given 500 shillings so that can get fare for us. We used to go to church in Kayafa. Then we get fare to give each, the boys would go as a team, my stepmom and I and my stepsisters would go as a team with the help, then Dad would go on his own, earlier than all of us. So he had to distribute the fare to each person as a group. So my brother was given that money and he disappeared. He had run away from home several times. Because of also his trauma. When we were a bit younger before we moved, my mom would, as a way of punishing us, like my mom would take a piece, like a key or something, and pinch me because I would go tell my dad that hey, Mom has gotten salary, she's got rice and shoes for school and all this things. She was so excited because I'm a daddy's girl. Then Mom would take that and really pinch me hard to the point of bleeding. And I could not talk about it with anyone. I had no friends at the time, so I wasn't very expressive. At this point now, fast forward, we ran away on Sunday. My brother tells me, when you guys are about to leave, let's meet at Kayafa. Oh, how many of you know Mukurubajeka? That's around where my dad's church is. And he's like, when you reach the stage coming through industrial area, not the back, when you reach the stage, don't come all the way down to the church and the river. Just stop over there, hang around the back, hang back, then I will come find you. we literally just slipped from our stepmom, who was very watchful. She had to keep a watchful eye because if anything were to happen to us again, she would receive the tough side of my dad. My dad is really tough. So we went back all the way to Umoja, picked our stuff, then came to Nyamakima to get the 504 pager back to Eldoret. Arriving there, we had no money. My brother somehow lost his money. We had no money. We had nothing. So I thought, okay, I'm going to be a street kid today because my dad says he sees visions. Dad by now has been shown a vision where I am because he'll just find me. There's somehow I need to find a way how I'm going to survive in the streets or how I'm going to do whatever. At this point, my brother has forgotten something in Umoja and he has to go back to Umoja to come back. I remember sitting there with my tiny bag, like a laptop bag, something like that size, a green bag. My dad had made it himself. He used to make handbags for women and bags for schools. I sat there holding on to it in the streets, not knowing who at the time we used to call them chokoras. Which chokora is going to come and snatch my bag away from me, nothing in the stomach to eat, not knowing what next. At this time also, I've registered as a class 8 student and you don't know what your future holds. You've run away from it all, there's no going back. But again, you don't know where you're going, what the future holds. So eventually my brother came back, we did a reverse call to my mom. And my mom is like, can you get me one of the drivers there? And there was this driver, if I met him today I would recognize him. He used to have a barn on this side, on the right side. If you travel with those pigeons, you would know him back then. This guy knew us because my dad used to make a lot of trips with us in Nairobi and Erratic. So when my brother talked to him and he's like, my mom wants to talk to you, we did another reverse call. You guys know what a reverse call is? We did another reverse call is where for the new generation, we did not have mobile phones. It was landline, and if you don't have money, you could call zero operator and request to talk to that number, to be connected to that number. Then if that number accepts, then you can converse with them. So we did a reverse call and my mom talked to this guy. This guy said, Sawa, I'll take the kids to Eldoret. And he took us to all the way, actually not him, by the time my brother was going and coming back, it was like 3 vehicles later. What this guy just did is like, mtoto anaenda Eldoret, ndugu yake akikuja, watapanda hii gari yako. So the next driver did that car. But then this driver went all the way and waited for us in Eldoret at, it's called Mahindi Hotel or something, just at the stage in Eldoret. He waited for us there. And when we arrived, he picked us up. We used to live at the Cherry staff quarters, took us there. I remember that day, my mom did a movie for us. For the first time, I saw a bowl of fruits, you know? Because here in Nairobi, dad was an absentee dad and never left enough money. So we would drink porridge in the morning, and you choose whether you have your porridge in the evening or in the morning as breakfast. If you keep it malipabaya, my brothers will keep it for you properly on kabati. So we got to Erratic. I remember watching Escape from Sobiko and really crying because home here in Nairobi felt like Sobiko. We watched that movie, then we also watched Judah Ben-Hur. I think you guys have seen the 2018 version. There was the 1990-something version on a temporary, what were those? VHS, yes, VHS cassettes. We watched it at midnight, we went to sleep. By Monday morning, we were in court taking my dad to court, and my mom was given custody of us. By Tuesday, I was in a boarding school, no time to call my mother. I have, at this time, considered that I haven't had time to resolve all the stresses I've been through. I haven't had time to make friends. I had incontinence at the time. Incontinence is a condition where you cannot hold when you want to go at the go. You know, even during the day, I remember one time in school, now in the new school, Hill School and Erratic, I picked myself in the parade and all the kids were running away from me and I became the laughing stock till I finished. this point, I was registered here in class 8. I go back, I have to repeat because I was placed there now by the children's services. They chose Hill School because it was a very friendly environment. My mom, having also been a mother who has gone through a lot of trauma, couldn't be present in my life. So it was a matter of an absentee mother, an absentee father, a lot of things going on in my life and no networks, no place to connect. And by the time I was 16, I attempted suicide for the first time. So I was informed. Then again, I survived that. Again at 19, I'm told my dad is like, now you're done with school, you can get married. I'm like, no, I want to study, I want to go to school. And again, no place of relieving the stress. The first one, mom, because she's a big thing, handled me at home. It was too embarrassing for her to say my daughter attempted suicide. At this time, dad in school, then I'm told to get married. My dad is already receiving dowry. Again, I say no. I'm not gonna get married. I want to study. I love school. I want an education. I want papers. And that is also seen and not. According to him, women who study do not become submissive to their husbands. So fast forward, I meet this guy. He's been on my case since I was in Form 3. I succumbed to his relationship, and the first time I had sex, I got pregnant with my firstborn son. He's now 12 years old. And when he was about 1.5 years, the trauma, the stress all came flashing back. I suffered PPD, and by the time I understood it was PPD, I had already did the combination of hydrogen peroxide mixed with cheap. I took an overdose of pills and I cut myself, and I actually found myself in the minor theater in MTRH Eldoret, fighting for my life and not wanting to be. I was admitted in hospital for a whole month. The doctor, psychiatrist came and asked me, what are the advantages between suicide and life? I only had advantages. I never had on suicide, no disadvantages on life, no advantages on being alive. And that kept me in hospital until my mom told me, you know what, the bill is going too high. You need to tell the doctor there's no advantage of suicide, then you'll be discharged. And remember, this is something you're told to do. So moving forward, anyway, I got discharged, and over time I started going through therapy. I went through counseling. A very good counselor in Erratic did a very amazing job, and from there I recovered, and I decided I'm going to talk about suicide. I'm going to talk about us being able to be there for people, us being able to listen, and for parents to be parents, being present in your children's lives. You know, there's a lot I could talk about, but we have very limited time, and I have to cut it short. But I would really encourage you, listen to the people around you, be sensitive to what is going on in the next person. Even if it's not a friend, just ask them, are you okay? Just ask the watchman where you are you okay? Find out what's going on in people's lives, be present in everybody's life and in your own. Be aware of what you're going through. Because if you're not aware of what you're going through, then you will not be able to tell when things are going south. I think I'm done.
Sawa. And also, can we move front? Hautauliza maswali. So I just want to go directly to the questions that I want you to answer. Let's start with water. The topic of today is stress. We saw a short video explaining stress and then, but what exactly is stress? And what are the different types, if there are types of stress, and what makes us stressed as human beings?
Thank you for the question. Thank you for before I say anything, I must applaud the courage to come before us and share this. That's wonderful. I also see some. So stress is our body's reaction, physical reaction to a threat or a demand. Already started changing our environment. And it can be caused by many issues. It could be physical, there is danger, maybe somebody is chasing you or animal is chasing you. It can also be an emotional threat, or even intellectual, school, study, or something like that. Or even spiritual. So it's a threat which comes. And your body now has to react to it. So what happens is that, as you saw in the clip there, you get a burst of energy. The adrenaline rushes through your body. And that happens so that you're prepared not to act. Either, as you saw in the clip, you fight, you can stand and fight, or you run away. There's also a middle ground there where you freeze. You can freeze like the way a deer would freeze when the headlights are down. So all those are reactions that come because of stress. And stress is also subjective. What might stress really may not stress me. So it's also subjective, depending on your experiences in life. There's something that somebody may see as a threat, but to him, like for example, I remember I saw a clip of somebody going very close to an elephant in the bush. But for you, when you see that, you either run, or if you can fight, you fight. But you can see him, he's very close to the elephant because they understand the language of the elephant. So it's also subjective, it depends on your experiences in life. And also stress is also not a bad thing. There's also the good part of stress and the bad part of stress. For example, you're crossing the road and this couch is coming very close to hit you. You see, just the adrenaline kicks in. That's the effect of stress. So that you run away so that you escape that danger. So it's also a good thing because it keeps you alert so that you can fight any threat or demand that comes to you. Oh, yes. And as a bad thing is the negative part of stress is maybe that's being followed by debt collectors. You see a phone call and your heart starts beating and you're afraid. So that's the negative part of stress. So stress can both be a good or a bad thing. And a type of stress is acute stress, which comes very fast and stays for a short time. For example, if you are running across and the car is running after you and then you escape, the adrenaline rush comes to you and then after that, it cools down. That's acute stress. Episodic acute stress is this small acute stresses which happen over a period of time. Say for example, you're driving to the office and that cuts speed. Pressure comes in, stress. After that, you're through. You get to the office, there's an assignment which is supposed to be done because it's calling you, so already the person supposed to do it has not done it. Stress again. So it's small acute stresses over a long period of time. That's episodic. And then there's the chronic stress, which now happens for a longer time. It stresses you for a longer time, and the stressor seems to always be present. For example, it could be maybe your boss, your bad boss stresses you have to go to the office every day, and the boss is there. Or maybe it's a relationship, maybe those, and maybe I could relate to maybe her experience. That was not chronic stress because every time she would go home, the family would be at the environment would be conducive. So that was chronic stress. And I know what's the counsels and you wouldn't do it. You see? So it's also a good thing in that sense. Yeah, that gives you that adrenaline rush to do what you may call a superhuman activity. Yeah.
Okay.
Because without it now, you will not get the adrenaline rush, you will get the strength to go.
So maybe you can go to Irene and ask, what are the signs of stress? How do I know I'm stressed?
Well, there are so many signs that indicate what is stress. The common ones can be number one. I'm not just talking about all the types of stress
Yes.
as mentioned. So we can have number one, you can sleep too much or sleep less. Number one. Number two, you can be numb. On your mobile. Also. Number three, aggression. Aggressiveness. Violent outbursts. That's another sign of stress. There's also lack of appetite or eating too much. Okay. Then you can also have that pain you cannot explain. It can be chronic pain. You go to the hospital, they check on you. There's nothing wrong with you, but you just feel so much pain anywhere in the body. It can be chest pains, it can be any part of the body just feeling so much pain. And you go through some tests and nothing is found. Another one is crying too much. Like you just find yourself crying. Every other time you're just crying, like that. Also sadness. It's just sadness you cannot explain, you just feel sad. There's also, this is actually a physical what? There's fatigue. You just feel tired, extremely tired. When it comes to stress that is good, stress can actually make you, for example, the stress of an exam. It will make you read, which you will read so hard. Because there's that stress of, am I going to pass, am I going to fail? So it will make you, if I'm going to fail, okay, let me wake up and read. So stress can be good in that manner. Now stress also, you can see someone who's overworking, becoming a workaholic. Maybe you want to forget something, So you can see someone who's overworking. Then another thing which is so bad in young people, erratic sexual behavior. Another bad one also, abusing of drugs, alcohol. You can find yourself doing that. And then someone verbalizing, the suicidal thoughts, or verbalizing actually, like I wish I was dead. I'm hopeless. Also, that one can also be a sign of stress. And then someone who used to be, personality change. Someone is so hyper from where is someone who withdraws. Someone who is withdrawn from where someone is too hyper. Can also be a sign of stress. So this can be a common sense of stress.
Because now we have an indicator that I'm feeling stress. How am I able to identify my stressor and how do I?
Okay, that's a very good question. Actually, he was supposed to even come up with the type of stressors. Stressors, the stressors. He was supposed to mention the stressors. Can I give a chance to mention the stressors first, and I can answer that?
Yeah, so as she has mentioned also about the exam that's in stress, and maybe starting a new job, getting married, all this can give that stress. So you want to do something better. So that's the part of the stress. The negative stress, which is actually distress, is financial difficulties, no money. Yeah. So without money, there all this kind of obligations as well about money, about all this kind of things. And also unhappy relationships, those are stresses that can stress you. And health challenges. You find you go to the hospital and they tell you have this terminal illness. That's a source of stress. You try to learn how will I go through this, how will this happen. And the job pressure, you have a bad job, you hate your job, every time you go to work, you go because you need to earn money. So that can be a source of stress about that job. And the sleep deprivation, as she said, you don't sleep well. I remember during the Z21 World Cup, the Chinese who decided not to sleep for 2 weeks. Watching World Cup on and on, and died, unfortunately. Because sleep is also very important to recharge, rejuvenate on your body. And social media overload. I remember one time I had a discussion with her, she was telling me, this Facebook, this Instagram, I think have been just come out. So I asked her why. She said, my peers, I can see the life they're leading. Posting here, posting there. I'm still struggling, trying to build a business. I'm 30 years old. See, all this can be stresses to an individual. Yeah. I think this is some of the stress. Maybe we can discuss those.
There are also those external stresses, like if your home environment is not conducive, if you're having parents who are abusive, if you're having people who are demoralizing you. You see, the environment as well can also be a contributing factor, and it even makes it worse because you have the internal stressors, and now this becomes another external factor that makes it even hard for you to cope with life. So maybe we can go to the COVID because I mentioned about it.
Thank you. So to add also a bit about the stressors also, abuse is a very serious stressor. When I talk about abuse, and people are not even actually aware, so the people who are being abused are not even aware they're being abused. So we have the physical abuse, okay? We have verbal abuse, we have emotional abuse, we have sexual abuse. That's that abuse. And then we have something called neglect. You get? Harsh stuff like that. Then neglect, physical abuse, verbal abuse, emotional abuse. You get it? It's a very bad stressor, and the impact is usually serious. Thank God she utilized counseling, which is very, very good. Most people who don't usually utilize counseling or some form of therapy, they become perpetrators of this abuse. You get it? I wish I knew the background of your dad. It sounds also like an abuse.
They've gone through trauma. Like in my opinion, trauma can be generational. Yeah, if as a result, yes, I choose to end the trauma from parents because they've been through trauma, our grandparents have been through trauma, so they become abusers.
Thank you. And one thing, when I do my therapy, I usually combine spiritual aspects and what is behavioral. This is actually what we call generational curses, by the way. It's usually perpetrated, and usually people who are hurt, they end up hurting other people. But when there's knowledge, when you become now aware, now you know, by the way, I won't do this. You get it? So not to go to so many stories. So we have the other types of stresses. We have that sexual abuse in terms of rape, and I want to go about sexual abuse because it can be statutory rape, it can be, even marital rape, it's rape, There's now that statutory, someone who's actually defilement, all that, it can have a very, it can really stress someone when you go through such things. We also have something called disability. I call it someone who's being labeled in a different way. As much as we see these people very so strong and all that, they also go through they also have their stresses they go through that they don't say. Okay? Then also something called loss, death. It's a very serious stressor. It stresses people. And also we have failed relationships. It can be divorce, separation, these young people's relationships. What do you call this? Try marriage. That can be another source or a very big source of stress. Okay? So when you come to, there are so many stressors we go through it as we are talking. Now we have what you call coping skills, or coping mechanisms. Okay? We have two. We have negative coping mechanisms and positive coping mechanisms. The negative coping mechanisms, these are the mechanisms that are actually it impacts negatively on people's lives. And we have now the positive ones, which are good coping mechanisms. Okay? So I will start with the negative, which you know, the negative mechanisms. But some of you don't know that negative. We have the self-medication, drugs, alcohol abuse. So I don't think she didn't go through.
She did.
You did? Oh, you did mention. Okay. Okay. So you get people thinking, it's a Friday thing. Today's on Friday. Oh, you're going out. They don't even call it stress. Like it's a tradition, a cultural thing, Friday to get to enjoy. Exactly. But in actual sense, people are numbing their pain and their stresses through this, alcohol and drug abuse. That's number one. Negative. It's negative. It is not positive. It is so negative. It has led people not to be addicts from this, and it becomes another issue. So many issues again. Okay. Then we have number two, negative coping skills. The erratic sexual behavior. Okay. You find people, this is just part of my story. However, I've also gone through stressors. And as a family, I used to see my brother and I'm wondering, okay, you get 10 girls pregnant, and he sees there's nothing wrong with it. Now with time I came to understand, that's how he copes with his stresses. Just sleeps around. And you're thinking, okay, this is a man. This is a man. You see these men, like you see that's a man conquering women. And me, I understand our background. We've gone through hell. But now, everyone had their own coping mechanism. Then I used to wonder, this one, what is wrong with this one? But now as you grow up and you understand, now this is the way of coping. Now guess what? These are women. He's just having fun with them and that's it. He doesn't want anything to do with them. They're going to be single women, okay? And then there are other issues again. Because now he's not going to play a part in these children's lives. Then these children are going to suffer neglect and some emotional abuse. You see how these things keep on moving from one generation to the other. You understand that? But even my brother did not grow up with my father, so there's so many issues at play. But that's a coping mechanism most young people get themselves into. And then we have HIV/AIDS. In the process of coping, you're coping, erratic sexual behavior, even women. You just find a woman who's just out there all over, men, and trying to numb some pain, some stress, releasing some stress. Then we have HIV/AIDS. I'm not saying HIV/AIDS is going to kill, but the way now, there's alcohol, there's erratic sexual behavior, there's now the disease. You understand the point? So there are things we can prevent if we learn positive coping mechanisms. And then we also have abuse, physical abuse. Yes. People release stress by just being, fight, violence. Now you see now violence. You see someone who's fighting. Even bullies in school. They are coping. These children, they might be going through something at home. So to cope, they want to, they're hurting children, they're hurting. So they want to release that. So they hurt others. You get it? As I said, the way I always like marrying spirituality and therapy. Love is everything. If the people don't get love, when you have love, you love people. But if you're not loved, if she was not properly loved, she does not understand love. So a bull does not understand love. You understand the point? There's no love at home. There's no love. So you want to, whatever is inside, you want it to come out. There's hatred. There's a lot of conflict inside. Okay. Another coping mechanism. Oh yeah. Also good at coping. Talking. I would really talk and talk and talk and talk because I want to numb my pain. I don't want to think about my stress. So I would just talk. I don't want to think. So you're just talking. So you see people who are hyper, extremely hyper. They're just talking and talking and talking and talking. So I know I don't have time to maybe go into the positive ones. Positive coping mechanism. Support groups. Support groups. Don't be a loner. Okay. Be involved. If you're in a church or a mosque, whatever religion you subscribe to, be involved. Be in groups. Get it? Or a friends, friends. In groups, talk, express what you're going through. Okay? It's so unfortunate for children. It's not teachers who get to you now so that you can talk. An adult is different. You know now, by the way, I can talk to a friend about this, understand things, you're a mature. I can be in a group, I can talk to someone. Number two, should be number one, actually, the one I'm mentioning right now. Therapy. Get a professional counselor. Like she said, it helped her. You did that? A professional counselor. It really helps. Therapy really helps. Okay? Number three. This is something I do because I'm a personal development consultant. I say journaling. Journaling is very important. That's my tool. I use journaling a lot. Whereby now you evaluate yourself holistically. Okay? You look at yourself. My financial aspect, am I set? My career aspect, am I set? My social aspect, am I set? My emotional well-being, can I perceive my emotions very well? Am I able to express my emotions very well? So journaling is also a coping mechanism. The way you evaluate yourself very well, you know yourself, you're self-aware of your strengths and weaknesses. It is very, very important. Number four, this is mostly women who like it a lot. Religious stuff, church thing, the church thing, just go to church and sing and do midweek services and all that. It's so therapeutic. It makes you cope with your everyday stresses. It's very, very important. I'm not actually a secular person, but most people do a lot of, the club thing. Okay, dancing. That is a good thing. The dancing bit, okay, it's good to go out and have fun, okay, but I hope it's not now going to overdrink, but I'm just going to listen to nice music, it's very, very therapeutic, it's a very good coping mechanism. Then another one is now the physical exercises, very, very important. Not only just good for you, for physical well-being, but it also releases, good hormones, that is good for your, good hormone that is good for your body. Because stress, the way we sleep erratically, can lead to cancer, can lead to heart problems, can lead to obesity. So physical exercise is so good. It releases this dopamine, the